everybody, and welcome to Hudson Valley Knits. I'm Amy, also known as Memers on Ravelry and Memers66 on Instagram and Twitter. I am in my local neighborhood down by the river at Steamboat Dock. It's a little windy. It was actually fine just a minute ago, but it's such a beautiful day out today. I'm so glad for this kind of sunny. It's not warm, it's not even 60 out, but it feels warm because the sun is shining so nice and bright. So I have a lot to talk to you about, and I actually have a place to be. I'm meeting up with some friends later at a coffee house in Beacon, New York, and I had to pick my friend up in an hour, so I decided to keep it local. Gosh, you could see the waves down in the corner right there. It's beautiful. I love coming here. It's such a peaceful, beautiful place down by the river. I get to work. Okay, knitting, spinning. That's why I'm here. I went to another fiber festival. My friends made me. Of course, Sandy was one of the culprits, and our friend Lori. We went to the called the Northeast Fiber Festival, or NEF, in Massachusetts, Springfield, Massachusetts, and we had a great time. So I have a lot of stuff to share with you about that, and I have some really exciting announcements. So the senior love along is exploding in my face. I'm so excited. I was a little concerned a couple of podcasts ago about meeting the minimum for the gentleman at the nursing home at the Veterans the VA in Montrose, New York, but I don't think I'm going to have a problem because of Andrea, who I believe is crochets and knits too on Ravelry. Andrea came up here from Long Island, which can take sometimes a couple of hours, even though it's not that far, because crossing bridges from Long Island to the main part of New York is sometimes very time consuming. She drove all the way up here and gave me a huge bag of washcloths. And I can't tell you how touched I am that she came all the way up here. She had a friend up in the area, which she, got to visit her friend, but still, I mean, it almost makes me want to cry, but it makes me so proud of all us knitters that really just put our whole heart into sharing our love. And it is a form of sharing love, and there's so many beautiful things going on now. Maybe because of not so good things, but it's bringing out the love in everyone, and I love that's just, it's a beautiful thing. I also wanted to say that someone said, I think it was in the thread or maybe a PM or in one of the beautiful note cards that I got. I mean, people are sending notes and of thanking me and sending messages thanking me for what I'm doing, and you know what? It's not me, it's all of us. I mean, we're all doing this, and I'm so excited about it, and I am going to definitely do it again next year. So if there are any extras, not to worry. And I said before, I've mentioned before that originally I was going to do this through the Salvation Army in Stamford, where I work. And if I have a significant amount of extra washcloths, I'll try getting in touch with them again. I had been trying for a long time to get in touch with them, and they didn't respond, but I'll try again, and maybe they can use them for some of the seniors in Stamford, which would be great. I also wanted to remind everybody about my podcaster Sprinkled with Frou Love Knit Along. I have all the details in the thread in the Ravelry group, Hudson Valley Knits Ravelry group, so check it out. I have a project on the needles for it, and there is a really awesome prize of a skein of Knitting Nightmares, oh my gosh, Knitter's Nightmare sock yarn. I'm like totally losing my Right. So check that out. And the final announcement I had for the month of October, I wanted to thank everyone who bought one of my patterns. I had offered up half of all my pattern sales for the month of October to go to Silly Fru's Crush the Sack Fund, which will help her pay her hospital bills. She was in the hospital for, I think it was 6 or 7 weeks. It was over a month, fighting leukemia, hairy cell leukemia, and she's home now. I believe she's working from home, so I believe she's working. But it was $40, which is every little bit helps. And again, just thank you everyone for who bought the patterns and helped support Silly Fru and me. And so you can still donate if you missed that. You can still donate directly to her Crush the Sack Fund on GoFundMe, and I'll put a link in the show notes. All right, so now to the whips, and I'll talk about the Fiber Festival at the end. I have a lot. So let's start with Mark's sweater. I did get some done, but not, I should be more devoted to this. Look at that. So let me see how far I got since the last. Oh, see, not very far, just a couple of inches on the back, on the front of Mark's sweater. So still a ways to go with this. Honestly, my hands get cramped after doing the cables for a while, so I need to take breaks from it. But all in all, not bad. I'm still shooting for his birthday, or shortly after his birthday. The scarf for Joe, which I didn't work too much on because I've been trying to stay devoted to Mark's sweater, but I did get a couple of inches done, right? And you can kind of see the color progression of the loop bat from the blues to the green. Now the greens are getting lighter. And I think the next color is going to be like a mustardy brown and gold, and then this nice maroon. Gorgeous. So this is coming. Like I said, I probably won't be spending as much time on it until Mark's sweater's done, and then I'll just try and crank it out for Christmas. Alright, so that is that. And like I said, this is just a chevron pattern that I got from Up, Down, All Around Stitch Dictionary. I'll have to check that out. It's just a stitch from a Stitch Dictionary. It's not really a pattern. I just wanted to do something that would kind of be a little more interesting than a garter stitch scarf. And I thought that was kind of gender neutral because he's really picky about that and he loves it. So that's Joe's. Speaking of homespun, because that's a homespun scarf, I showed you last week that I finished the naturally knitty poonies that I spun up and chain plied, and now I have cast on the second sock. So I didn't finish the first sock. I'm knitting them toe up because I'm not sure how much yarn. This is 2 ounces, so it should give me a fairly good sock, but it's really thick, so it might not be as tall. But here's where I stopped with the second sock, the first sock, kind of right above the ankle. And then I stopped to wait and see until I get this one to that spot. And then I'll just keep knitting them both together until I run out of yarn on one, so that they're fairly even. I know the stripes won't match because I lost a lot of this to poor spinning. So a section of it, when I transferred it from my spindle to my bobbin, I transferred it from the spindle to my Hansen, which is a woolly winder, and I forgot, when I did that, you know how it goes through the 2 kind of loops on the top, one for the woolly winder which goes back and forth, and one for like this, like a main guide that goes, and then you put it around and through the orifice. Well, I forgot to put it through the woolly winder sphere. So all of my single ply got like clumped at the beginning of the bobbin. And I didn't think anything of it, but it kind of got stuck in itself. And when I was trying to chain ply it, I couldn't, it was like, it like caved in on itself, if you know what I mean. So watch out for that if you're doing that. Make sure you spread it evenly over the bobbin if you don't have a woolly winder. So, because I lost quite a bit of yardage, I would say, because of that. But I still ended up with 2 ounces, so that's good. What else do we have on the needles? That's my first pair of homespun socks, by the way, hand-spun socks. So I'm really excited about that. All right, so next on the needles. Oh, for my podcaster knit along, I am knitting Emily from Fiber Towns multi-purpose garment, MPG. I got to try it on when I met her at Rhinebeck, and it's really nice. I'm using, oh shoot, what's this? This is Lorna's Laces. Oh shoot, I can't remember the name of the yarn, and I don't have my labels with me. Or do I? Yes, I do. Hold on. Lorna's Laces Honor. That's what it's called. Which is baby alpaca and silk, and it is heavenly soft to touch. The colorway is Turtle Rodeo. Gorgeous stuff. Lorna's Laces Honor. And I got this at my local yarn shop. Oh no, I got this at Webb's, which is not really my local yarn shop. My local yarn shop I think of as the Cornwall Yarn Store. Yeah, there's people out on their boats. Go figure. So that's this, which is great mindless knitting or movie knitting. And I did go to a movie last night and I forgot to bring it. But oh well. Alright, and then what else do I have? Oh! I started the Woolly Wormhead Mystery Hat Knit Along. Love it. I did it last year. I had such a great time and it was such a beautiful hat. It's in the car right now, that hat, but I wear it a lot. And so I decided to do hers from this year, and I've just begun the second clue. And there's not much of it. Her patterns are just, I don't think there's one I don't like. They're just really genius. So here is the brim of the hat. And I'm going for the slouchy version only because I don't have exactly the amount of yarn requirement. And this is the Hedgehog Fibers sock yarn, which is really nice and soft. And the color is Wildflowers, which is a one-of-a-kind. I got this at Vogue Live a couple of years ago. Not last year, the year before. Or not this year, but the year before. Here you can see a little bit of Clue 2 with her little, it's a fake cable kind of pattern detail, and this brim is actually hemmed. So you kind of knit up and then you did a row of purl and then you fold it over and you kind of knit them together, but not all of them together. Some you knit back, front and back, and that's how you did your increase. So like I said, she is just a genius when it comes to designing unique yet perfectly detailed hats. Like, they're not too much, but they're just genius, and they're always like so out of the box, yet they can look classic and I don't know, just gorgeous patterns. And I'm loving this knit, and yeah, when I meet my friends later, I'll probably work on this. Love it. So is that all of my whips? Let me see here. Oh no, yes, that's it. All my whips, but I have 2 FOs, and can you guess what one of them is? Because I haven't shown it to you. I finished my Canadiana socks. Where are they? Oh, where'd you go? Oh, here they are. All right. I love this. This was really beautiful yarn. Whatever she uses as her base is really fun and soft and It's only 2-ply though. I'm kind of worried about how these socks will wear, but we'll see. I had plenty of yarn to make to fit my size 9.5 feet. So, I mean, it's just really, really nice. I love these socks. I haven't soaked them yet, and I'm figuring they're going to kind of plump up a little, but I'm worried about the bleeding. So I'm thinking I will soak them in water with vinegar just to make sure none of the colors bleed out to the white. I had a pair of self-striping sock yarn that I bought from an Etsy vendor almost over a year ago, and as soon as I washed them, all the colors bled and there were white stripes, and now they look bad. Just dull and muddied. Muddied is the word I'm looking for, and I don't want that to happen to these. So highly recommend her base. She does a great job with the stripings, everything perfectly lined up, perfectly, and I couldn't recommend it more. Really great yarn, and that's Fishnets yarn. So that is my one finished object. So I got another pair of socks for the sock drawer. And now I showed you this kind of finished, but not finished, like it's been blocked and the buttons are on. And I made up a cute little tag with the washing instructions. But here is the baby sweater for my coworker with the buttons. Aren't they cute? Little Joann's fabrics, nothing fancy, but pink. And last night I actually went to Walmart. Oh, it smells so good too. I went to Walmart and I bought pink embroidery thread. I'm kind of, oh, and here's the extra buttons. I was going to pin them to it. Isn't that a good idea? I was thinking of embroidering little flowers. Someone else did it. I was thinking of embroidering a little flower on the pocket, but I don't know embroidery that well. I don't know if I should try that. I'm kind of nervous about doing that, and maybe I should just leave it as it is. Don't mess with perfection. So, I don't know. I have to go buy a nice little box to wrap this up in. And just Week Kriya by Isalda is a great pattern. And a wonderful baby sweater. It could be for male or female, a little boy or a little girl. So that is my other finished object. Spinning, not too much to talk about. I did a little more of my spindle spinning, but nothing really significant that I need to show you. So I'm skipping over that. And now to the fun stuff. Stash enhancement. I went to the Northeast Fiber Festival, and oddly, when we left, we got lost and ended up at Webb's, and I just don't know how that happened. And then after we left Webb's and decided we were going to get something to eat, we just happened to drive by this local yarn store that was near Webb's and ended up going in there too. So I have a lot of stuff that I don't need, but I will show you. Oh, I forgot the spindle. I bought a new spindle too. I'll put a picture and I'll put the details in the show notes, but I seem to be quite the spindle collector lately. I'll start with this. I saw this spunky eclectic fiber, who is Amy, aka Amy King, who also teaches a spinning class on Craftsy, which is awesome, which I signed up for and listened to. It's great if you're a beginner spinner. This loveliness is a gradient dye, so you can see it gets darker at the end and lighter with just a little bit of darkness in the beginning. Oh yeah, so I love the cloudy blueness and mixed with the white. It is 6 ounces, which is a nice it says OOPS. Wonder what OOPS stands for. I don't know. Last Dance is the name of the colorway, and it is 6 ounces of cone top panda, which is 60% superwash merino, 30% bamboo, and 10% viscose. Oh my goodness. So anyway, this is a luxurious fiber I can't wait to spin, and it's got a little other fiber. I got this at the Fiber Festival. I also got this at the Fiber Festival from Ashley Ann's Hands, and this is printed on photograph paper, which is not cheap. It is bunny Angora. It looks a little matted, which happens with Angora. It actually is a little felted together because it's been in a bag. But this is oh, so soft. And what I'm gonna do, let me show you the card. Beautiful card. Tail spun on a core Angora rabbit. $20 for 20 yards, which is very reasonable for this core spun. And I am going to make another teacher cowl for myself and use this as the decorative touch on my teacher cowl. It's one of my own patterns, and I have some bulky alpaca that I'll use, and I'll use this to weave in for the detail. It's going to be luxurious. Ugh, luxurious. This is the kind of yarn that I wrote that teacher cowl for. Beautiful, kind of artsy, core spun yarns. So check it out if you have some lying around in your stash that you've spun or bought and you don't know what to do with it. Check out my teacher pattern. Seriously. At the Spunky Eclectic booth was also Stitch by Jessa Lou, and I bought my first Stitch by Jessa Lou bag. I love the colors, and I love the nature scenes in this. I got Angora all over my face, and Angora all over this bag too. Amazing, isn't it? And I love the bag. It's a little small, but it's fine for socks, and I love the inside. You can see it is super well made, super sturdy. I love the texture. The fabric even has texture. It has the little bag with her beautiful, cool label, and I just love it. So I kind of missed out on a Grinch bag, which she said was her last bag. I was hoping the person who was like holding it like this, I was hoping she would put it back. It was a very large box bag. Was it a box bag? No, it was like a messenger. It was just like a regular type bag. But I loved the Grinch pattern on the bag. But she bought it, and so this was fine. God, it's like it's Angora everywhere. Oh, it's gonna be a fuzzy. It's all over my black coat too. I don't know if you can really see it. Anyway, last thing I got at the Fiber Festival. Let me get this. So this is, I love this lady. She has her own farm, and she also has her own yarn line. I met her last year when we went to the Webb's tent sale, me and Sandy. And let me put some of this back. She's an awesome lady, inspiring, and I forget what her name is, but anyway, it's Fox Fiber and Designs. And these two, it's actually sock yarn, but it really is kind of a little heavy, super squishy. It is Cormo wool and yearling mohair. It is really nice and squishy. Soft, like comparable to merino, I would say. And I kind of like the purple and orange, but these were dye experiments, she said, and she had them in a bin for half off. So I paid $2 a skein, and I have enough for a sock, so $20 pair of socks. And the colorway is Aurora, and I like I said, it was in a sale bin, so I don't think she's making them anymore. I'm not sure if this is going to be sock or if it's going to be a shawl. I'm not sure yet. So that's what I got at the Fiber Festival. At Webb, I actually didn't get much. I have in my queue it's a Stephen West pattern, Glam Lamb, for Steve. I think it's called Stephen West at Home. It's his latest pattern series, and Glam Lamb is something that I saw and I kind of thought that it might be to my daughter's taste, and I showed it to her, and she's like, "Oh yes, Mom, I have to have it." That was a little exaggerated, but you get the gist. So when I went to Webb's, because of their wonderful discount, I got 25% off. It was a little over $100 for 10 skeins of this Debbie Bliss Aroma in the cream. I have yarn for the sleeves, so I didn't have to buy a second color for the sleeves. And it's merino wool with super fine alpaca. It's lovely and soft, and it's the one I love. I almost bought a cheaper one, and I'm like, why? Because this is the one I love. I'm making a really a very much wearable garment. I'm taking the one that I like, and that was this Debbie Bliss. So maybe after Christmas I'll start this for Rachel. I didn't bring all of them, obviously, but and I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the sleeve color, but I have a couple of choices. And then, like I said, we left Webb's and we decided to go to a local restaurant. There's a Thai food place up the road from Webb's. And across the street, a little up the street, is a little yarn store in the same town as Webb's called Northampton Wools. Here's the bag. So I encourage you to check it out. If you go to Webb's, check out the little yarn store up the street too. It was beautiful. They had a lot of indie dyer stuff, and that's where I picked up some periwinkle sheep yarn. I have one skein of this that is a carrot orange, and then this blue, and this yellow, which is really more golden and orange than you can see, and this gorgeous blue, which is like one of the most beautiful blues I've ever seen, to be honest with you. Let me see if I can get it in the light more. I am thinking of doing a color affection with the three of those. I made one for my sister a long time ago. So either a color affection, or actually I have a couple of other shawls in my queue that require 3 different colors that would really, really look good with these. So this is a local indie dyer, and it felt good to support the local yarn store and the local dyer. So check them out next time you're at Webb's. And they gave me a cute little pen, which is kind of nice. Northampton Wools. So it was really a wonderful day to spend with my friends, and I got yarn that I know I'll use, so I kind of didn't feel too bad about it. I also got a couple of other things non-yarn that I wanted to show you. I don't know if I'm going to do a review on it, because there's so many blogs out there right now doing reviews on this book, but I had funded this, I think it was Quick Starter or something. I love doing stranded knitting, color work, and this method of hers to develop your own color work patterns intrigued me, and I really liked the book. I haven't read it, I've perused it, so there's not much I can say, but like, she really, really goes into how you could take a brownie cake and make it a stranded color work. She talks about color, which is really good. It helps, and how to choose color, and how to find the right colors by looking at nature. Like, what you see, the green, you see the brown, you see the blue. They look great together, so you could use them. And here again, the browns and the greens. And that's how you can find the colors that pop. So I think this is going to be a great resource. I have a bunch of Jameson DK yarn in my stash that I think I can play around with using this. And I'm looking forward to it. And I also have indulged, and by indulged I mean I sure as heck didn't need it. I bought a set of the Knit Picks rosewood needles. I haven't tried them yet. I'm looking forward to it. I've always been a big fan of Knit Picks needles and Knit Picks customer service, so I decided to buy myself a set. Because I need more knitting needles, right? And so that's it, folks. That's all I've got this week. That's all I've got. Thank you for joining me. You know the weather's going to get colder, and so I don't know how much longer I'll be podcasting outside, although last year it didn't stop me. It was Arctic cold last year, and I was still down here by the river all by myself podcasting. So anyway, let me show you a little bit of the scenery, because it's only been a half hour. But I'm gonna, oh, I can't turn around, can I? Let me see here. Oh, here's the river. That's Stony Point across the river, right? Here's, I think you're probably getting to see the playground. And here's the park. This is all waterfront property. It's called Steamboat Dock, and the town of Cortland has slowly been buying up the property so that we can come down here and enjoy the river. They've done a great job. I'm really happy with it. You can see this used to be an airport. I don't know, can you see the buildings back there? Right there? That used to be an airport hangar, and now we have some rowing teams storing their boats in there. And again, you can see the little playground, dog park / dog park. A lot of people come here with their dogs, and I can't say I blame them. But this is like right down the street from where I live. I walk down here a lot. I didn't grow up here. I grew up a little south of here, but I love it here. I really love it here. So thank you for joining me. I will see you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Happy New Year.